Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. I'm proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is more than just a podcast. It is season 12. It is episode 20. This is our first podcast of December. It's actually our first podcast in about 4 weeks. This is, episode 19 was, wow, the 14th of November. Where have we been, boys? No answer. Len.
Hello.
Where are you? What are you doing?
Um,
And what you been doing?
I can't fucking remember, to be honest. I'm doing I'm doing a pod with you. It's all kind of slowed down. I'm just sort of getting anxious over the Royal Mail deliveries, really.
Okay, yeah.
That's all that's on my mind, and I can't remember what it is.
Winter
I
of
used to do.
discontent. You got snow down your way.
Yeah, we got about 8 or 9 inches of
Ooh.
to go out in it today.
Oh, nice.
It was
I did, yeah. I
quite
drove
tough.
out my Land Rover using the snow program 4x4. That's what I bought a Land Rover for. It's the only time of year I get to use it.
Yeah.
John, you're in the darkest, deepest parts of the Surrey Hills. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home, snowed in, Sean. Couldn't
Oh,
get
you
out.
snowed in. Snow plough don't come down your way,
Don't
does
come
it?
down my way. Yeah, it's terrible. It is.
Actually, saying that, yesterday when it was like -6, I had the snow program on, but it don't do anything with black ice. I went round a corner, a roundabout, and black ice, and the back end just slipped out and sort of span round.
When was it? -6. When was that?
That was on Sunday morning in Horsley,
Was it?
Surrey. -6.
Really?
And then it snowed.
Fancy that.
Fascinating. What have you been doing then, Johnny boy?
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
I've been working hard and watching football.
Yeah, excellent. Good shout. Where's your son?
I'm not sure, to be honest. We had his, my granddaughter, his daughter's second birthday party this weekend. There's lots been going on. And, so I don't know what he's up to.
Nice. Last but not least, Shedman, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my living room talking to you.
Oh, why aren't you in your shed? You snowed in too.
Well, it is about like a foot deep walking up to my shed. So
Is it?
I had to walk up to my shed to get my headset. So
I'm recording in Hinchley Wood, and we've got no snow here anymore. But there was a little bit of snow in.
no,
Yeah,
I've
we haven't
still
got a lot, to
my
be fair.
garden's still covered in.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a
yeah,
bit more north. Just
Well, I'm east.
Well, it's all the same, isn't it? It's not Surrey, is it? So.
No.
Well, welcome back, boys. A few people have been saying, "Where are you? When you're recording?" And I said, "Well, I do ask every week, and every week, everyone, I get a complete and utter lack of enthusiasm. But thank you from our listeners to you for taking the time to come back when there's no football on." Nothing to say on that. Let's talk about So no games, but we've had two friendlies in a row, 2 wins on a bounce. We played Cambridge United, and we absolutely annihilated Cambridge United 3-1, or is it 4-2? I can't remember. And then we played Udinese in Italy at the weekend. We definitely won that. Udinese. We definitely won that one. 3-1. Of any of you, let me start with this. I'm going to start with John. You watched any of the friendlies? Because they've been live on YouTube, you know.
No, I haven't.
All right, I'm gonna go number 2. Shebman. No. Len, have you watched either of the 2 friendlies on YouTube?
No, not at all.
Okay, right. It was 4-2, by the way. West Ham 4, Cambridge 2. Right, I'm going to go for the last one. Fingers crossed. Third time lucky. Shebman, Have you watched any of the friendlies on YouTube?
I've seen the highlights. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Sean, did you watch them both?
I did. I watched both of them live, actually. Even though, I actually did a bit of multitasking. There were, World Cup games on at the time. And, let's hear from Shedman first on the highlights. What did you make anything of them? Did they mean anything? Did they?
Look, Sean, they're totally mean in this game.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a nice, good attendance. I think Cambridge, that bloke, he got, when there's I tell you, guaranteed nailed on in every testimonial, there must be a penalty. Because that enables the bloke,
didn't it?
whose testimonial it was, to score a goal.
Yeah, and an old Randolph went the wrong way, and it was like
yeah. So
it was
we do the right things.
He's a West Ham fan, isn't he?
The bloke,
Greg Taylor or something.
Yeah, so.
Right, I'm going to test you.
You can't read anything into it.
But there was a bit of one. We were missing. One, we lost Aaron Cresswell. We'll talk about injuries later. Two, Thomas Souček was missing. This is the Cambridge game. And three, Maxwell Cornet, who we said would be back, wasn't back. So those three were missing, as well as obviously all the normal ones like Kurt Zuma, etc. Let me ask you, right? Let's see if you did watch the highlights. Who scored the goals then? Who scored the 4 West Ham goals? Without looking up.
Bowen and Ben Rama at Cambridge. And then one of the young boys, I don't know his name.
Well, who was it?
Well, Bowen and Ben Rama, yeah, and one of the young boys. And I think there was an own goal as well, off the top of my head.
Let's have a look, because I can't remember, actually.
Oh, right. Well, Bowen got the equaliser. They scored first.
Ben Rama, Bowen, Pierre. Is it Ewok? No, it's not Ewok. Equa.
All right.
And an own goal, as you said.
Yeah.
How about the? Did you watch the highlights for the other game? The Udinese.
No.
Oh.
But I know that Antonio scored a tap-in. Oh, tell a lie. I did see the goals, yeah. Lanzini scored, Antonio and Ben Rama.
That's right, yeah.
Antonio got a tap-in. So I did see the goals. That's all I've seen, the goals.
Yeah. Look, as I think you said, there wasn't a lot to learn from it. I think...
It's just a run-out, isn't it?
I think there was about 2,800 and we took 835 to Cambridge, which was... that's all you could hear on the YouTube footage, but it was a training game at best, if I'm honest with you, and I'm not sure we learned anything. But I guess they kept their match fitness a little bit. Let's talk about the World Cup, because I'm sure I'm going to get a bit more engagement on the World Cup. So let's talk about hammers. Right, let's start with you, Len, then. So, obviously, we've had Paquetá, we've had Rice, we've had Agur, we've had Vlasic playing in the World Cup. Who have I missed? I mean, I can't have Areola because he didn't play.
Did you say him?
Agur.
Did you say him?
Yeah, I did say Agur, yeah.
Okay.
What did you make of... Let's talk about... I'm not going to talk about the World Cup in general. What did you make of the Hammers playing in the World Cup, Len, if you watched any of them?
No, I didn't really take any notice of them, really.
Did you not?
Sorry.
Did you not even watch the Brazil games?
Yeah, I did. Paquetá looked pretty good.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He plays in a completely... I mean, I'm sure we'll talk to John in a minute, because I know we had a chat about this. He was standing in for Neymar and plays... and then, I think in the other game, he was a defensive midfielder. And that was probably the best game where he scored. So, John, let's move on to you, because I know you've watched most of these games.
I watched quite a lot of it.
Let's start with Agur. Obviously, he got that thigh injury, which he looks like he's out. They're still in it with Morocco.
Is he out then? Is he properly out?
Well, it's from what and we'll do an injury update in a minute.
It looked like he was pointing at his groin when he went off.
Yeah, I've been told, sources close to the club, it's a grade 1 thigh strain, which is 3 weeks of rest. So, I'll tell you, I'm not going to spoil it. I'll come back with the injury update in a minute. But it doesn't look like they're playing the semi-final or the final. But
If
what
they get-
did you make of him in his Morocco role?
I mean, he looks what he looked in glimpses for us. He looks like an accomplished defender. So, yeah, I mean,
What is the fun fact about Aguerd? There's one fun fact. Well, there's a few fun facts in the World Cup, but what is the
what
main
is his fun fact? I don't know. He's prone to ankle injuries, and we still bought him.
No,
That's
no,
a
a fun fact of what happened. What did he? Why is he talked about in the Morocco World Cup?
I don't know, Sean. You tell me the fun fact.
Well, the
I've got
fun
a good
fact
idea.
is, go on, Nigel.
Morocco have only conceded 1 goal and Aguerd scored it.
Hey, well done, Nigel. That is exactly it. He's only scored 1 goal. Sorry, they've only conceded 1 goal, and it was scored as an own goal by Aguerd. There's also another fun fact relating to that is Aguerd. So I know a Canadian, and well, so does John, called Adrian, ex-Brit, and he said your bloke is the only. It's Canada's only second World Cup final goal scored by a hammer. There you go. So he's got that record as well. I think I've got Morocco in the sweepstake. I think they can go all the way. Do you, John?
I know. I think you'd be silly to say no when they're in the semi-finals, and
The French can be beaten.
I'm going to say no.
All right. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think they've got enough
will as well.
firepower.
Well, I just
They'll
remember.
bore us to the final if they
They
do.
could
just
do a
remember
Greece,
that-
couldn't they?
I remember that
They could.
the Greece and Portugal when they won the Euros. They were very boring.
We're making a good case for them, aren't we?
Yeah. All right.
Well, no,
well,
I mean, what Greece did it, didn't they? Like you say,
Yeah.
I mean, so
Oh,
that's
they were fucking boring.
they were terrible. and They nicked it, So they could possibly do that if they.
That would be
Well,
funny, wouldn't it?
uh,
That'll be the end of the World Cup.
One bit I don't really understand is Vlasic. The club don't seem to talk about Vlasic like he's
No.
one of our own, and of course he's through to a semi-final as well with Croatia. Have you been
Oh.
watching him?
Well, I mean, he looks quite good when he
does,
comes on,
doesn't he?
and quite. But I was surprised that I always thought that give him a season and then there's a player there and he might settle, and but he seems like another one that he's got no patience with and
Yeah.
is willing to let go.
All right.
It's a bit like the Ben Rama thing.
We've talked about Paquetá. We've talked about Aguerd. We've talked about Vlasic. The elephant in the room. Declan Rice. How good was he? How good was he in this World Cup, John?
I think he was as good as we believe him to be, or we see him do regularly. But I think he's not the same player for us as he does when he plays for England. He's far more
The French
sort of
game. I mean, I thought he was
expansive when
outstanding.
he's with us.
I thought he was outstanding in the French game, and if it wasn't for some Spursy striker, who knows what it could have been. But you
I
certainly.
think it would have been a draw, and we would have probably lost in extra time and penalties.
No. Rice would have scored the winner in penalty.
Don't be down.
Oh.
Anyway, there's no point in worrying about it. We were the better people in the second half, and I feel gutted for Rice, who backed the manager, by the way, backed Gareth Southgate. Yeah, would he plays you every single game? Why wouldn't you back the manager?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the typical.
Are you enjoying the World Cup? Because a lot of people would say, it's not the same. It's being played winter, all the human rights things and everything. Have you got into it?
Truthfully, I've always, when the World Cup's on, I always have, it's good when you can come home from work, have football on, and just. So I've still sort of done that, but it hasn't completely got hold of me. I don't
know. There's been some shock results. I mean, things like Brazil going out and Spain going out.
I know there's been some really good games,
and
and there was a really good Dutch game the other night. It was great.
Yeah.
And
there's been some fun.
Yeah, he did.
I love Portugal going out and him and old Winker crying.
But the old summer World Cups for me is
Yeah, no.
It's always they're always full well. Each game is an event.
Yeah.
You have like 15, 20 people over, and share this, and you all go out and.
Not the same in the
I mean,
winter.
this time round, it's all like, well, yeah, but I've got family coming over for
Yeah.
my Christmas dinner. We haven't, you
I
know.
did go to the pub
Who
in
has
Leatherhead
Christmas
one night.
dinner a week before Christmas?
I've got friends whose dad lives somewhere else, and his mum, they have his mum for dinner, and she won't stay in a
What, on
room
a
with her
Saturday
dad
evening?
and all that and
Yeah.
whatever. So he can't. They bring him down, and the week before Christmas they have him.
There you go.
And,
Well, it's
know.
nearly over. All right, let's just start. I'm going to go to Shedman in a minute. Who do you think will win it?
I would like to see Croatia win it.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
I want to go Morocco only because I've got them in the sweepstake and because of a girl.
I just think if you look at them,
just to see if the West Ham social media account says anything.
Yeah, yeah. But also, great, the Morocco Croatia final. But also, it'll be the first African team. You know, it all gets carved up by South America and Europe. It'd just be a bit good.
I
Anyway,
just find it impressive how 4 years on, and they're still there, and they're still just rolling through teams and getting results.
yeah. So,
the
Nigel, you've
penalties.
been very patient, and then you're going to go. I've been working on. I haven't watched that many games. Have you been into this? I really don't know.
I've watched every night.
Oh,
so
have
I've
you?
watched every 7 o'clock game.
You just haven't watched the 3 o'clock games, maybe.
No, I've had them on my phone or listened to them on the radio driving home. So
What have you made of it? And then, in particular, right, it's a West Ham podcast, so let's talk about, again, I'm going to go through the, Agur, Rice, Vlasic, Paquetá.
Well, thanks for naming them all, just in case I'd forgot.
Just in case you
last
forgot.
1 minute. I mean, Paquetá, I can see what people talk about in a way. I don't know. He's got a great pass on him. He's not a Brazilian of traditional that'll beat 3 or 4 players, but he fits into that system. I didn't think they were a great Brazil. Then they had that outstanding result. They had one outstanding result.
What did you make of the dancing?
But it don't bother
What was
me,
that
to be
dancing? Was
honest.
it supposed to be birds or something? I mean, some people said it was
Well,
disrespectful.
pigeon or
Is
something.
it
No,
pigeons?
look, the people know that the Brazilians, they will dance. I don't think it's disrespectful. That's what the Brazilians do. They've done it near enough every World Cup for years and years. But I didn't fancy Brazil at all. I must admit, it didn't surprise me when they got knocked out. Not a big fan. I think Croatia are boring. The teams, they're grinding out, beating people on penalties. That's a lottery. That is a lottery. So I can't say, I don't think Vlasic has really done anything. The only thing is, he's the first penalty taker. So they're obviously very confident on him.
Well, he came on as a. I'm trying to have a look. He came on as a substitute, didn't he?
Yeah, he comes on as a sub. He's not a start for Croatia.
Well, he did start one, didn't he?
Well,
I'm having a look. So, Morocco. He started. Yeah, he started against Morocco and came off after 45 minutes.
yeah. I don't think he's not really shown anything, to be honest. That says to me, people talk about he's done well at Torino. He did well in the first month at Torino. Done not a lot else since then. So I don't know. He
Came on 73 against Canada.
I mean, against Canada would have bettered the team.
Yeah,
And
and it was 4-1, wasn't it? And then Japan, of course.
They fell apart.
Japan was 1-1. Did he even play
I think
in
the
that one?
Croatians are
99
lucky.
minutes he came on.
Yeah.
In that game, obviously it went.
They were lucky.
Did it go to extra time? Oh yeah, it went. They
Well, if
won
you
on
come on
penalties.
in
Of course
99
it did.
minutes, Sean.
Yeah, of course it did. Well, look, the reason I say that is there's been so many 10-minute extra games, Nigel. You don't know if it went to extra time.
Yeah, but
mate,
it would
because
say
how many?
90 plus 9, Sean, not 99.
Okay, all right.
Being pedantic. But
And then 1-1 with. I mean that.
I mean, look, this
he
ain't a
came in as
Croatia
a-
podcast.
he
I'm
came
bored
on
talking
as-
about them, Sean.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about Vlasic, and I'm just
Why,
having.
Sean? He's hardly fucking played, and he ain't going to play for us. He's playing for Torino, and if he comes back, we don't want him.
72
You
minutes.
don't work for the social media team at the club, do you,
Well,
Nigel?
yeah, but I don't get. Look, we should acknowledge that he's our player.
All right.
The social media people
Let's-
should include it, but let's face
Let's
it.
move on to Agur then.
Just get behind the ones that played for Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they had a bit of a thing. They went, all the Irish accounts were going, let's see a picture of Rice crying. All right.
Well, look, right. So a Gerd showed his
Gerd.
quality and his class.
He did.
Yeah, in the games that he's played. Morocco have done very well. They're functional,
Yeah.
and that's about the best that they are. Again, you know, they've relied on penalty shootouts. They've done well against Belgium, but Belgium were on a downward spiral. It's disappointing, the French result with England, because we're looking at Morocco. And sometimes I think that's the danger of playing last. We could see the carrot there of Morocco, thinking, well, we are likely to put them away. But we had to beat France first. France are going to be in the final. They've got a very good chance of winning it. I think they'll be only the second team since the war to retain it.
Oh, I really don't want the French to win it.
So,
Ooh la la.
Did you
For
see
me-
Mbappe when missed and him laughing? That's
yeah,
just
but he's going to laugh, Sean. And I'm not being funny, you know, but at the end of the day, why dig him out, yeah, when you've already dug Harry Kane out?
well, because he's Spursy.
So why point at the finger at a Frenchman laughing who's going to laugh at an Englishman when there's an Englishman digging out another Englishman?
Yeah, too right, but I'm not sure Harry Kane qualifies as English, but that's another story.
I'm not sure Harry Kane qualifies as English.
Well, he's not the brightest people to represent our race, if I'm honest
Well,
with you.
none of them would be throwing the friend material, would they, in our fucking team? Let's be honest.
Anyway, I'm joking. Move on. So, all right, Agur, he was playing well, unfortunately, up into his injury.
You
and
know, he's picked up another injury. It does seem a bit injury prone, doesn't he?
It's not a
Yeah.
groin
I know it's
strain, though.
different injuries.
Yeah.
I know
His
it's different
ankles, wasn't it?
injuries.
If you look
Yeah.
at his history, his
But
ankles.
his ankles, yeah. But this
But is he
wasn't an
one of
ankle.
them that when one thing goes, then he comes back and then another
Yeah.
thing goes?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, and this is the thing with Morocco is if they get beat, they've still got the third, fourth playoff game
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So they're not coming home until.
Well,
next
he's
Monday.
recovering. I'm not sure. I mean, he'll probably stay out with them. I mean,
I'd like to think if it's the final and he's fit, I hope
won't
he
be.
does get a run out.
He won't.
But if it's not the final,
When is the
and
final?
he's
What
fit-
day?
Sunday.
Oh, he ain't gonna be fit.
So, I mean, if I'm going to pick a team left in it that I want to win, I'm thinking I'm going. I'd like to see Messi do it,
Oh really?
Oh, I hate him.
and I'll
Yeah,
tell
me
you
too.
why.
I hate
No, I
him.
like Argentina. I don't.
Oh,
And I'll tell you why. Because I detest Ronaldo now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
And I'd love the fact that Messi would actually have a World Cup winners medal and Ronaldo won't.
Yeah. Well, that was his last one, I assume. Ronaldo's.
So,
He won't be
yeah.
in again. How old is he?
so did you like?
37.
Did you like him giving it to the Dutch when they won the
Yeah.
penalties?
Oh no, hold up though, and this is the thing. A lot of people, it's easy to take a still photograph, as that photograph was when the winning penalty was scored, and they had all the Argies turned to the Dutch. What you had to have seen was what the Dutch were doing when the Argies were taking their penalties.
Yeah, but did you see what the Argies were doing when they were kicking the ball into the bench and then?
Well, that
So,
was
yeah.
one. I'll tell
Well,
you,
yeah. Well, all of that starts it off, doesn't it? They are snidey, dirty little fuckers,
yeah,
aren't they?
but the Dutch are snidey and dirty as well. Argentina, Holland goes all the way back to 1978. Every time they've played each other, they love to kick lumps out of each other. And
Yeah, it was a good
always
game.
ends
It was
up-
entertaining.
Yeah, it was a brilliant game to watch.
It was.
Um,
Yeah.
And do you know what? And well played to the Dutch, because that last minute free kick, and when we say last minute, the 98th minute free kick to get the equaliser, that took
Yeah,
some
it was
balls
brilliant,
to do
wasn't it?
that. Because if you remember, Rashford was close with our 95th, 96th minute free kick, or the Dutch had something up their sleeve, and it paid.
Well, they also had he sort of like last 15, 20 minutes he was losing, so he changed the whole
Yeah.
thing and went different and
But
went
Van
route one
Gaal,
and
Van Gaal is the Sam Allardyce of Dutch football. There's none of this total football that the Dutch, played under. I think it was Rinus Michels was the man that done it, and he's the one that went to Barcelona and changed Barcelona, brought Cruyff into Barcelona as a player. introduced the Dutch way of playing to Barcelona. That's why Barcelona changed
Anyway.
in the early 70s.
It's
But
a West Ham
the Dutch ain't
podcast.
like that.
When it's not
we're talking about the
Argentina or
World Cup, though,
Dutch.
We're talking about World Cup.
I know
and
it
stuff.
was, but we're
That's
talking
all that's
about
been
West
going
Ham.
on, really.
We're talking about West Ham players in the World Cup. And we've got.
All right, so let's have a final
Well, you
England.
decided on that. Actually, I'm happy to talk about the World Cup because
Well,
that's the football that's been played.
Right.
Let's have a final
I don't
World
mind
Cup
that.
thing.
Sean might know some West Ham news.
I will do in a minute, but first
Let's
of all,
just ask the question:
Go on.
Southgate in or out?
in.
I'd have to sit on the fence.
Oh no, you can't. That's not one. It's a crap thing to do on a podcast. It's either in or out.
In sort of the Moyes way, I'm happy either.
Bear in mind, he's already got
We're
a
talking
his
about
contract
Southgate,
doesn't
though.
go to the next Euros.
Yeah, I'm happy if he stays to the Euros, but I won't be disappointed if he leaves. But if he leaves,
John?
he leaves with his head held high, and he should actually stay and work
Yeah.
for the
John?
FA.
I agree he leaves with his head held high, and I agree he's achieved a hell of a lot. But I just think it's time for a new voice, and you
David Moyes.
can't keep doing the same
David
thing
Moyes.
time and time again
to
and
be
expecting to do
England
it.
manager. Yeah.
He's not reactive enough for me.
Who replaces him though?
I don't know.
Another Englishman. Has to be Englishman. Don't
All right.
no foreigners.
All right.
And yeah, and to be honest with you,
David
it
Moyes
wouldn't
is
bother
cool.
me. Wouldn't bother me if they did the same sort of similar thing and went and got I don't know Steven Gerrard or something like that.
Well, let's
do you know what I
ask
mean?
Len.
It's not a bad shout, John.
Len.
Well, do you know what? The honest answer
Southgate
is
in or out?
I'm not sitting on the fence, but I don't care enough to answer
You
the question.
you don't care.
But now he said Steven Gerrard. That's not a bad idea.
Okay. All right.
Why not? Why shouldn't it be
There you go.
them type of
Yeah.
ex?
Instead of keep going for.
I know Southgate's a ex-player as well, but he was never a great club manager, was he?
No.
Good
But
under
he's-
21 manager, but
It's
Depends
his lack
what
of
he did.
it's his lack of ability to affect a game. He always sort of reacts after we've gone down or whatever. You know, it's frustrating.
I mean,
Yeah.
to bring Grealish on that late in a game, and only because Stones was injured,
And
it just flies in the face of.
yeah.
he did the same thing in the Euro final.
Yeah.
He didn't make a substitution in the 90 minutes, did he?
No,
And you're like, really?
he did. Didn't he? He brought Henderson on for Rice.
Wasn't that in extra time? Wasn't it?
Was that in extra time? Was
I
it?
think so.
It
I
was
can't
just-
Yeah, it
really
did.
remember.
What did you make? Let's just ask two questions. First of all, Nigel Paquetá, play him in defensive field alongside Declan Rice. Yes or no?
I wouldn't be against it, but I don't mind him playing further forward. The bloke
Well, it
should be
seemed to work for
adaptable.
Brazil, but a lot of people go, "Yeah, but it's Brazil, right?"
Yeah. Listen, he's playing with Neymar and
Yeah,
Vinicius
exactly,
Junior and Richarlison.
Yeah.
You
Fair
know,
point. Rice, better player for England than he is for West Ham. Was he putting himself on the world stage to knock
no,
up
I
his
think
value?
he showed for England what he does for West Ham.
Okay, fair enough. That's an opinion. I thought he played better for England, certainly on that last game, than I've seen him play for West Ham lately.
Could I give you some input?
Go on.
Firstly, on Paquetá,
Yeah.
I said to do that 2 months ago, play him next to Rice.
Yeah.
Secondly, well, not quite next to Rice, but, in the close player.
Hmm.
As far as Declan Rice is concerned, I may be wrong here, but it seems like he has that role to himself for England, like more of a sweeper role, which I said West Ham need to do to put a bit more pressure on him. And I think he shines. He doesn't,
It is a defensive role, isn't it?
yeah, like a quarterback role.
And I, it's more a defensive role than maybe West Ham, where
On the first game,
he's told to go more forward, and Souček's is a bit more.
I don't believe it. I think that's a bit more fluid the way the game pans out. But what I would say, on the first game that England played, and we played, was it the
Egypt.
first game?
Egypt.
Yeah, it could have
Iran.
Oh, was it Iran?
Yeah, we didn't
been
play
Iran. That's right.
Bloody
Actually, it could have.
Egypt.
Egypt
You're right.
weren't even in the World Cup.
Oh, I
It
know,
may have been
Jesus.
the third game where it seemed like he was in a two, and he was getting criticised, you know, the usual criticism about passing the ball sideways, which his odds do. But if you play someone next to him, he's going to do that. Because he's not, you know, he's going to pick out the pass that's there. Why wouldn't you? But leaving him on his own there, he doesn't. He takes the pressure well. And I think West Ham should do that. Have Pekatar are slightly more advanced than him, and I think maybe we could just get some balls in the area quick enough from deeper positions, without saying long balls, because they just have to be good passes. Good, clever passes, which we don't seem to do anymore, from what I remember. And England don't do that either. You did notice that the penalty that we got after the VAR was a long pass into the ball with a late runner. We just don't do it. Yeah. And you could see how they didn't like it, didn't they, the French? I mean, why he did that tackle, God only knows.
No, it was.
So why don't we do more stuff like that? We don't see any of that in football now.
It was an awful foul, wasn't it? And now he was going, ooh.
It was like something he saw over a park, and everyone's saying that's the clearest penalty we've ever seen, and the ref hasn't given it.
I know, hilarious.
Anyway.
What also I don't understand is why did Maddison not get a run out?
I forgot all about him.
You know, he's supposedly...
Didn't even know he was in the squad.
Our informed, creative player, and, you know, he just bewilders me.
Who was your... I mean, right, this is not a West Ham bit. Who was your... England player of the tournament, John? I know who mine is.
I don't know. I think I might say Saka.
Yeah, I'm going to say Saka as well. That's exactly what I thought. He was pretty shit hot.
I mean,
but what? Just for that last French?
No, for England. I thought he played well over the tournament.
I think Bellingham.
Yeah, Bellingham was a close second for me. Yeah.
I think
Bellingham's an incredible player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's yours, Len? England.
Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Yeah.
It's close between those two. But anyway, we're out. You know, I don't think any of us really expected us to get too far. So it was a bit like West Ham, right? You get into a quarter-final, you're not expecting anything to the French. You play really well, and at the last minute you get let down. I mean, it's exactly like watching West Ham, isn't it?
Have you seen that thing flying around on Twitters and whatever of our World Cup wins since 2006? And every team in there is just basically...
Yeah, but John, the thing about them I don't like is that with the World Cup, you got to play who you're drawn against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though what I would prefer to look at is who actually knocked us out of those tournaments, and did we go out in a game or on penalties? So, 2006 was in Germany. We weren't that good, were we? I'm trying to think who knocked us out in 2006.
Well, I just think if you just think back to
Germany, wasn't it?
Croatia game.
No, Germany knocked us out in 2010. We lost 4-1, but that was Lampard goal scorer that would have made it 2-1.
That's what I think.
That would have changed the game.
What gives us the right that think we should automatically get in the quarter-final?
Nothing gives us the right.
It's not a right, but we should... Hold up, England should make the quarter-finals.
Why? What gives us this right that we think...
Well, when you look at the group stage and then how you come through the group...
Yes.
It's a reasonable opposition to get to that point.
I just think we're big time Charlies and we think we're better than a lot of
big
nations.
Big time Charlies, Sean, is when you think we should be in the final or we should be winning it.
Well, I think some people should. You know, I had someone say to me the other day, well, the women managed it. Why can't the men? It's embarrassing. And I just...
Who said that?
Well, obviously, someone who's not male said that to me.
You know, you got to give credit to teams like France, because when I looked at them in their first game, and I thought to myself, God blimey, I'm quite shocked that Lloris is still in goal for them, and the Giroud is playing up front. They must have someone better by now. But
they lost their players. They lost it. They lost Benzema.
Of course they did,
Kante.
But you know what, as well though, John, these players are winners, and winners find a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's why we lose against them.
But look, the good thing is, and I know we said this at Euros, but look at the average age of this England team. You know, we've Rice at 23. The nucleus of this team is young.
The one thing for me that I don't know whether you boys agree with this or not, is that there is, I believe, this may come from Premier League fans, of which we are, a distinct lack of pride in England as a football team. We support them when they're playing, but when they don't, it's like, oh, I'd rather go and watch club football. We
Yeah,
all go
no, that's true.
Club football. Where in France, they've got one league team, but they have Paris Saint-Germain is a dominant thing. So a lot of the French will get behind the national team and want the
After
national
rugby,
team
though.
to
After
do well.
rugby.
Well, it don't matter, Sean.
they love their
Well,
rugby.
it's not their first love, right? And most people
No,
I
but
know
I'll
will
tell
go,
you what,
well,
they're on the
rugby
verge of winning it
first,
for the third time. If they
soccer
win it,
second.
if they win it, and this is the thing, remember, the trophy England won, the Jules Rimet, got given to Brazil when they won it for the third time.
Mm.
Brazil or Argentina are going to win. If those two get to the final, one of them would have won that for the third time and probably get to keep the trophy and they have to make another one.
You'd never
So-
thought that would be France, would you?
No,
Please
you think
don't let
France have
France-
done
But
nothing.
see, the thing is with it, against England France, that game was a 50-50. I think that was a 50-50 game.
Yeah, it was.
And I know they were the world champions and all that, but they weren't the same team as they were 4 years ago. And we are supposedly coming up and whatever. And I thought it was a 50-50 game, and that's the frustrating part of it. Every time we hit a 50-50 game, or every time we come up against a strong opposition, you know, we don't either have the ability to beat them head to head or bore them to death like a Croatia or a Morocco, or we don't seem to have a knack of winning these games.
I mean, off the top of my head, I think this is the 5th French team to make the World Cup semi-final that I remember. And in that time, England's been in 2. So there is something wrong with England that we always do seem to stumble. And this, you know, this will be, if they get to the finals, their 4th final since '98.
Yeah.
That's bloody
But
impressive.
they only really started taking it, like really going for it, and they changed all their systems and stuff for France in '98, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they failed to qualify in '94, wasn't it? I think it was Ginola gave the ball away against Bulgaria.
Yeah, that's why I ended up at Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, they imploded. So
Anyway, World Cup over again.
Gone.
For England, gone. Let's hope our hammers. We got a few hammers, so we even count Areola. The only who's the only team? Oh, we haven't got any Argentinian. Well, it's a shame. Lanzini's not in there. I suppose he's been on the fringes in the past. Last World Cup, wasn't he? Before he got injured. But anyway, let's do a bit of injury news. So we've got 4 players out. So I mentioned Souček earlier. Had a bad back for the Cambridge game. He came back and played in Italy. Maxwell Cornet, if you remember, got forced off back in October with a calf injury, and we were told it shouldn't be too long. He came back, started training, and he broke down and had a setback. So we were told at the Cambridge game he's had a small reaction by I forget who the manager, the assistant manager is who did the interview, but he's supposed to be 50-50 for the Fulham game, and he's supposed to be available on Boxing Day. Whether he'll be used, but we should see him on the bench if nothing else happens on Boxing Day. So my estimated return date for him is the 26th December. Aaron Cresswell suffered a mild hamstring grade 1 tear or strain, if you want to call it that. Needs 3 weeks of rest. That happened at the Cambridge game on the 6th of December, which means his return should be, he'll miss Arsenal most likely, so it looks like Emerson coming in. Should be a shout out for the London Stadium game against Brentford, which is on the 30th, so my estimated return for Cresswell is the 1st of December. Agur, as we've been talking, grade 1 thigh strain. So that recovery time is 3 weeks, and Insider said 3 weeks. He got injured on the 6th of December as well. And so he should, hopefully be back for the Brentford game at home. So again, I'm putting his date as the 30th December. Probably the most promising one is Zuma. Zuma had keyhole surgery on his knee. a bit of a washout, we got told. 6 weeks recovery. He has returned to Rush Green so he had the surgery on the 24th of November. So that means potentially he's back beginning of January. So there's a chance 6 weeks would make him. Next available game after that would be the 7th of January, which is the Brentford away FA Cup game. And he could be back for that. He's not training on it yet, but he is working out in the gym and doing light gym training on the knee. And could be back. And everyone else should be fit from the World Cup. So all to play for with the return of the Premier League. Quick update on transfers. I've had it confirmed to me several times. There is no money. Really, it's going to be free transfers, although the senior source points out there's no such thing as a free transfer. Loans and bargain buys. They did their money in the summer. They can't keep on spending. They're on a watch list with UEFA. It doesn't matter. It's not they don't have trust in Moyes. They do. You didn't have money to spend in January anyway, no matter whether Moyes had been mid-table or top six or whatever. I've been told, look, we're going to get we should get the freebie, the Brazilian Sao Paulo centre-back, but it's not quite done. He signed a pre-contract, but it's a gentleman's agreement, means nothing. I'm told the agents want a lot of money, as they always do. The player wants a signing-on fee, as they always do. And do you know what? Up until he's released from Sao Paulo on the 31st of January, he can do what he wants. He can rip up that pre-contract and go, gentleman's agreement, I'll sign for someone else. So let's not be too premature. He should get a work permit, because it's a lot easier to get a work permit nowadays. We probably need a right back. We probably need a backup striker. What loans we might get, what other bargain buys or freebies we might get, we're going to have to wait and see. But after having 8 people in the summer, don't expect too much in the winter, is what I'm told. As for I'll do a little bit and then we'll go to question time. As for David Moyes, I've been repeatedly told he is no risk. He's under no pressure. This is not a vote of confidence from the board, but I've always been told consistently, and Nigel will tell me off this, no manager can survive 6 Premier League defeats in a row. So if he lost against Arsenal and he lost against Leeds and he lost against Brentford, it would be curtains for him. However, one draw, it'd probably be all right. There's been a lot of talk and reports about a 5-point target of those 3 games, and I've been told that's absolute bollocks. He hasn't got a 5-point target. You must reach it, or you're gone. And that's my West Ham news. Nigel, go on. I'm sure you'll come back to me on something.
What?
What? Did you fall asleep? Oh, and of course, David Gold is retained his shares. So we had a little mystery that a company that owns 7
I was going to say he'd gone, didn't he?
7.85% of the shares used to be owned by Gold International, and they were wound up voluntary. Gold has moved off of the board of Ann Summers. He's no longer a shareholder. Gold International's been wound up. It owns 7.85 of the shares. I've been told, by David Gold, that he's retained those shares. He hasn't sold them
How
to.
did he manage that?
What do you mean?
If they're a company asset and they were wound up,
it goes to the members. So when it's wound up, the members, the directors
of what company?
Of Gold International.
Yeah.
So he retained those shares. They weren't liquidated and sold elsewhere or sold off. It wasn't that they went bust. It was just
I don't
winding the
understand
company
they
up
owed
in
anyone
assets.
money. Cease trading would be a better
They ceased
term, wouldn't
trading,
it?
although
Yeah.
it was technically they did appoint a liquidator, and the company was.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
There was
that's
no
a technicality.
outstanding
Yeah, there's no
debtors.
outstanding debts. Well, there were some £1 million loans, but they were settled. So there we go. We'll see what happens next year. I'm being told by everyone, Gold's not selling his shares. Sullivan's not selling his shares. No one wants to sell. So what Kredinsky's going to do, we don't know. But I'm sure everyone's going to wait for the March 2023, when everybody thinks the West Ham will be sold. If it is sold for the 800 million that Kieran Maguire on Price of Football says, then the directors look to make 521 million between them. There's a story on that on 6'2", but I tell you what, I don't think it's going to be Kredinsky. He's an investor, and his payoff comes if West Ham is sold. Anything else you want to mention, boys, before we move on to question time?
Not particularly. Not at this juncture, thank you.
Nigel?
I just sold that Di Canio painting, by the way, while we've been on here. Did you see my Di Canio painting?
Who's that? Is that you?
What?
You've sold the Canio painting?
Yeah. I
How
just
much
sold
for?
it while we were on there.
Nice.
No, not to be disclosed.
All
It
right.
was on the site and it just got bought.
Nice. Shedman, anything?
No.
Okay, it's time for this. Yeah, it's back. It's back. Question time is back. It's the time where you, the 8 listeners, who we've neglected for weeks and weeks and weeks, because even when we recorded last time, we didn't do it. So it seems like months since we've done a question time. It's back. This is your opportunity. Nigel, take it away.
Recording a show tonight, I said. Not sure what to talk about, but we'll give it a go.
Well, we've done 45 minutes.
Off you go. I think you have. Ooh, so, let's start off with DJ Russie B. Budden has popped up with a light heart.
Oh, could you send me a signed picture of you, Russie, if you can...
You have to ask him.
All right. Okay.
Did anyone order Essex James Bond? Anyway.
If they did, I hope they weren't charged by the pound, Nigel.
Boom, boom! I can't. We're alienating our first listen already.
Oh, no. He says, if you could have a snowball fight with an ex-hammer, who would it be? I'll go first with probably John Radford, because
He's going to miss.
his shooting was throwing was then he's going to be shooting. He wouldn't have a chance of hitting me. Sean?
Julian Dix.
Julian Dix, you'd like to have a snowball fight with
Yeah,
Julian Dix?
oh, yeah, get right rough.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'd like to see you have a snowball fight with Julian
I'm
Dix.
sure
That's
you
what-
would.
Len?
Big Phil. Imagine
Big
the
Phil.
size of his balls that he can make with his hands.
Dear, dear.
And then so imagine the size of his
Oh,
balls.
dear.
Even
John?
my mum couldn't believe the size of his hands.
Ah,
Oh, there you go. That's another story. Good old Carol.
John?
Jonathan Spector.
Oh,
He did a really good performance in the snow once.
oh yes, he
Against
did.
Man United. Yep.
All right.
There you go. That's a good shout, John.
It was cold as this time
nice
of weather.
link.
Yeah, nicely. Yeah, Chrissy Mills.
Super Chrissy Mills.
Sorry, beg your pardon. Evening, gents. He said it's good to have us back. And he can't believe he's missed the Thunderdome, apart from the misery being skint after buying a pint. He says, but have we missed our shit show of a club? So
Not
have
at
we
all.
Missed? No.
Yeah, I have. I've missed going there. I've missed, the whole routine, and Saturdays and Sundays are not the same.
Wasn't it the
First
build up? Wasn't the build up to the World Cup quite sort of wearing for you?
It was
Sean?
wearing, but there was like 3 games in a week, John, and there was train strikes, right? I didn't miss that bit, and I got it gets better because I did the whole thing about the worst day ever at West Ham,
Yeah.
and that I got rained on, and Shireen lost her phone, and everything, and I mentioned one other thing that I didn't get a ticket.
You did get a ticket.
I got a ticket. A £60 ticket just to finish that day off at Surbiton Station. I didn't get a ticket, and I did get a ticket, a £60 ticket.
no.
So there you go.
Happy
Not
days,
even one
people.
on your thing. Nowadays they record you on their bloody camera and send you a bloody still
Through
of
the
it.
post.
Yeah. So a little warning there: if you do that, buy a ticket right at the last minute 'cause it's a day ticket, and not think you've got away with it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So you're so tight you couldn't pay like £3.
I rushed because it was raining and forgot to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
How much is the ticket? Is it the weekend? It's like £6 in it for the weekend.
No, for Surbiton Station it's like £2, £2.20 on a weekend.
So you didn't want to pay £2.20?
No, I forgot. It was ring.com and I ran for the train and I forgot.
Ring.com?
Ringo.
CCTV?
Ringo.
God. That's why he couldn't get the app to work.
I know, yeah. He just said, all I kept seeing was your
Yeah,
front door.
Ringo.
He just kept seeing old videos
Yeah,
of people. He couldn't work it out.
Hello?
Oh, Jason Backhouse says, evening, gents. Jason's got a good story because he bumped into the legend, Billy Bonds, in his local shopping centre recently. Jason must live around Bromley then. He's the type of guy we need on the pitch when we resume Boxing Day. Certainly wouldn't be a hiding place for some of the players with him around, but he has got a question. In regards to the Celebrity Jungles on ITV last month,
Never watched
who in the current squad would you like to see enter the jungle and eat kangaroo balls?
Suchek. Just to sort of, make way for someone else for a few weeks.
Potato salad he likes.
Well, he's going to have kangaroo balls. Them's the rules. Moyes, is he allowed?
Yeah, you can have Moyes, yeah.
Am I allowed Karen Brady?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you've moved from playing stuff to the manager, so I just wondered if it was everything.
He made a point of
Jason
saying
did finish, actually.
Cameron Brady's
Cameron
not allowed.
Brady's not allowed.
I was told that.
Oh, okay.
I'd send Mikel Antonio in there. He'd entertain everyone. I think
He would actually.
he's a seems like a chirpy, jolly chap.
Yeah. Why not?
I'd send you, Sean.
He's not in the West Ham squad.
No, but he can represent them, innit? He'd be the Nick Hancock, wouldn't he? Everybody'd be ringing up, yeah, get him in, put him in the trial, stick the cockroaches on him, slime him, put him in the shit, make him eat kangaroo penises and bollocks.
How about your mate Rob, the programme editor?
Oh.
That's a good point. All right, well, there you go. Next up, it's Andrew Staines. I don't know if he's from Staines.
Are we going to give him a Delta Chi name or not bother?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a new one, isn't it? Andrew Staines.
St. Ains.
Something that stains.
Seaman?
That's why I said, are we going to give him a name?
So, Andrew, he might have been a sailor. Seaman Staines.
Maybe.
In Captain Pugwash,
Yeah.
Even though
Wasn't
he
true.
weren't actually in it, but
No.
still.
Nor was
Suchek.
Roger the cabin boy, was
No,
he?
no, he wasn't.
How that travelled so fast. Early days of internet, that. I'm thinking myself, I used to watch that. I don't remember that.
I don't remember them, yeah. Suchek, he says, is showing some form at the weekend without Rice
Oh, was he?
in a meaningless game.
In a meaningless game.
When Rice is sold, will he be the answer in his old position
No.
with Downs in the holding midfield
no.
role?
Oh,
Paquetá.
God.
Paquetá.
So, I don't think so, Andrew, to be honest.
Billy Bonds is 76. There's no way he can
Right.
play football answering a question from one of our listeners about 10 minutes ago.
Fit as a fiddle, isn't he?
Well, he's had a new hip, didn't he? He had a hip. Didn't he have a hip?
Did he?
Yeah.
Dev did. You're going to give me stuff with Dev, are you?
No, Hoarder
He
Centre.
probably did.
I was just
to be honest,
Googling
Bill.
Billy
I think they all
Bonds,
really do.
and he did a whole great big testimonial about his hip replacement. About 3 years ago, he went to the Hoarder Centre and got a new hip. There you go.
They all
Look at
really wear them out. They do.
that. Yeah, there you go. There's a picture of him getting his new hip with the surgeon. There you go.
Alright.
Nice story.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, Rice, do we think he's going to be sold?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
reckon?
This
What,
summer.
Yeah.
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 No one else. Do you reckon anyone will sniff in January?
No.
No.
I wouldn't mind him going in January,
No, I
No,
just
it
don't
sounds
think you can get a
daft.
replacement. You know, I think.
No, well,
we're
we've
trying to
already got
auction
one
him.
there, haven't we?
What do you think?
Downs.
Do you think we're going to get? I reckon we're going to get around 80 for him.
Well, I know the Daily Telegraph
I'd
are
say
saying
around
70, but I think we will. If there's demand, look, someone's always told me, senior source, a thing is only worth enough that someone's prepared to pay for it, and if you've got, Real Madrid, and you've got Liverpool, and you've got Man City and Man United and Chelsea, and who knows what other foreign clubs, all having a sniff, going, well, do you know what? He could do a job for us. He's only 23, big contract, long contract.
24 in January.
He's worth 100 million. I'm not saying 150. I'm saying he's worth 100 million.
All right. Well,
If Jack Grealish is worth 100 million, then he's worth 100 million.
That's no comparison.
I
no,
don't
is it?
think that's true, Sean, and that's the thing.
Go on.
People will pay 100 million for Jack Grealish because he's a creator. Declan, he's not a creator.
I still say he's worth 100.
Be harsh. He's not a creator. He's great at breaking up attacks, which is, you could say, is just as worthwhile.
Well, not if he dominated a game more like Man
No.
City.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
So
the most
he's not a
expensive?
creator.
I'm going to Google this. I'm sure it won't be
I
able.
also think if he was in a better team, he would become a better player quite quickly.
Yeah, but he's still not a creator. We've pushed him forward.
Yeah, no.
So
Most
this is the thing.
expensive-
We've allowed him to go forward, and he doesn't. We still don't create a lot from him.
Most expensive defensive midfielders.
What does Google say?
What did they just pay for Casemiro? United. They just bought him, didn't they?
Actually,
He's
you're not
like-
wrong.
he's
They're
like 30.
around. If in euros, they're worth about 7. If you were to base on a Google search, about 75 million euros.
Yeah,
About
that's-
60
I've
mil,
said
wasn't it?
that from day one. that
No.
it was never going to happen.
And that's £60 million, 75.
No, it's
Million
not
euros.
close than that.
Is it really? Fucking
Yeah,
what
not-
happened?
The
Not these
most
days.
Rodri, Atletico Madrid to Man City has been the most expensive. Maybe this is out of date. 63 million euros when he moved to Man City. Jorginho moved from Napoli to Chelsea for 57 million euros. And Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid to Arsenal, 50 million euros.
So how much was Casemiro this
All
last?
right, let's have a look at Casemiro. Where did he go?
Man United.
Man
Oh,
United.
my life.
Real Madrid.
Miro. Okay.
Sean thought that was a villa he was staying in Mexico.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I'm not
Casemiro.
going to Mexico this Christmas.
No, you're
Right.
going in January, aren't you?
No, I am going away at Christmas, of course, when the football comes back. The fee was 70 million euros, 71 million euros.
So
And
when I
how
said
old is he?
60 million, I was kind
No,
of there.
you're
wasn't I?
not.
How much is that then?
71 million euros.
What is it? About 70 million quid now, you're saying?
61 million euros.
What?
What the fuck are you talking
What are you
about?
saying, mate?
How much did we pay for him? In pounds?
71 million euros in
Which
pounds
is how much?
is 61 million, sorry,
So,
pounds.
how
60
fucking many times have I said 60 million in the last 5
It's
fucking minutes?
61.
And you've been
61.
and not only you ignored me, you didn't even know who the guy was. Jesus Christ!
Anyway, moving on. Kevin
I'm
Cleverley.
glad we're back.
I missed you, Len.
Oh dear.
Kevin
exchange
ain't
rate
really
is-
got a question.
Go on.
But he just wanted to say he went to see BFS last Thursday, Ashton Gate. Kevin admits to being an iron, and he was generally looking forward to hearing what he's got to say. He says, now, I've been lucky to go several of these events over the time, and he was honestly the worst, so uninteresting. But he'd like to add that he was a Sam fan and thought that he left us in a far better place than when he arrived. There you go, Kev. Shows that looks can be deceiving. And then he puts a picture of Sam up talking.
Looks remarkably like Sean, doesn't it?
It does actually, yeah.
Thank you. You don't have it. How would you know that? Because you haven't even got Facebook.
I'm trying
Oh,
to see
I
it.
just
don't
know what you
you're
look
talking
like.
about.
I don't know what he looks like.
All
So,
right, okay, fair enough. Good point, well made.
Adam Leatherbarrow says the snow. Can we pick an all-time wintry themed 11?
if we had the whole evening,
He's gone Snowy O'Brien.
Snowy O'Brien. We did some of these earlier, didn't we?
Tim Icebreaker. No, that's no good.
Well, that's not bad.
Ludek McCloskey. No, that's rubbish.
Someone said, oh, it was George earlier. Mark Snowball
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
right.
bad.
Yeah.
or Kevin Snowland
no land.
or Sam. This was from David. Sam a la Ice.
I think the answer's no, Ad.
No,
To be fair.
I don't think we can now. do
No, we can't.
Next up, it's Clive Treliving. There you go. Who got sacked from his job in the pet shop, people.
Oh no.
Yeah, got his hands caught in the trill.
Really?
Whee!
That's bird food, isn't it? Trill, anyway.
Yeah.
Hey!
There's too much negativity in this world, he says. Can you do something about how good some of the youth players are at the moment?
Are they?
Are they? Yeah.
Clive. What I'd say is they're so good they can't get into our first team. Hey. Oh,
But
dear.
the
What's
youth
going on with
players,
Ashby, Sean?
not
Did you-
under 21
What's
or
Ashby?
23.
Well,
Yeah.
nothing's changed from the first time I wrote it. He's not signing for us.
Yeah.
He refuses to sign for us.
Yeah.
He's going to go for a nominal fee
Right.
in January.
What about Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson is on a.
He's got a year and a half left.
He's got a year and a half left. We haven't
These
signed
are not
contract
youth
talks.
players.
Huh?
These are not youth
Are
players.
we
No.
in talks? Did you say?
Yeah.
Last time I heard, yes.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you may know something different, but the last time I asked, they still thought they could win Ben Johnson around.
Oh, right. Okay. No.
You
I'm-
worry me when you say that.
There you go. Well, under 18s.
You don't say anything for a reason. You don't
do.
say anything for a reason. You've just got my little. You know, I'm going to ask questions now.
You can. Anyway, so the under 18s are doing rather well. I noticed
Right.
we've been winning games.
Right.
So yes, Clive, we are right to big up the youth. But when youngsters play against other youngsters, they will look good. It's when they play
Yeah.
against men that sorts the
This is a problem, isn't it?
chavs from the avs, basically.
Bring back the combination. That's
Exactly
some
right.
positivity.
But the thing is, as Len will know, a lot of ex-pros say this all the time. This was the best grounding that they had,
Yeah.
playing some of the old boys that were coming back from injury, or some of them that were needed to keep playing football in case they were needed for the first team. I think Bonds spent a year in the reserves.
Did
You know when
he?
he did his
In the
semi-retirement?
In the 86 season, wasn't
Yeah.
it, really?
Yeah, he played a lot of reserve football. So yeah, bring back the combination.
Yeah.
Won't
happening.
happen though, because
No.
they've all thrown their rats in to
Yeah.
this academy way of life. I mean, how many? If you think about it, when you look, how many England players have gone through academies? Premier League academies.
Don't know.
Not as many as we think, probably.
No.
Next up, Lewis Allen. Evening, gents. He hopes we're all well. We're all well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm messaging the senior source now.
All right. Okay. The board have
We can
apparently done the old free. Yeah. See, he obviously reads your guff, Sean. The board have apparently done the old 3 games to save his job scenario for Moyes, as they did with Slaven Pellegrini. This says to me, if true, that they have concerns over Moyes' ability to turn this current poor form around. Do you think they therefore missed a trick in not getting a new man in during the World Cup break? For me, he says the time to make a change was now. That was when the time was to make a change, but now we need to stick. Can we see Moyes moving Paqueta's position after the World Cup? And let's hope for a better second half of the season. Keep up the good work. So let's just take one part of that. What's the best part to take though? All right. Is it true then, Sean? This is the one part, yeah, that he's got 3 games to save his career.
No.
At West Ham. No.
If he loses 3 games and it meets 6 games in a trot,
Yeah.
it breaks a long-held view that no manager can survive, and it doesn't matter who the manager is, no manager can survive 6 Premier League defeats in a row.
All right.
But that's not the same as he's got 3 games to save his job.
No. So when you read that, Lou, that was Sean basically had nothing to write that day. And just thought he'd trot this.
Excuse me.
Yes.
The position of said senior source has never changed on this particular item.
Ask
And
him
has
regularly,
been-
do you?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So regularly. So recently he said, no, he can't survive if he loses 6 games in a trot.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But if he does lose 6 games in the trot, which he's only got to lose the next 3 league games, are we including the Blackburn defeat in that?
No.
Right, okay.
No. Premier League games.
Premier League games. So he loses 6 on the trot.
Yeah.
That's our executive news editor.
Yeah, there you go.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Or the midget's mouth.
That's a bit harsh on Sean.
Yeah.
He's a tad taller than a
No, I meant he got
Oh,
it straight
sorry.
from
No, he knew who you meant. He's just plain dumb.
Looking forward
Maybe the
to
listeners
the
didn't.
Arsenal game, says Andy Hall. He then says, how many games do you think Moyes will have if we carry on losing? And looking as poor as we did before the World Cup break. Well, actually, the last game before the break, Leicester, or the last home game, Leicester, we actually played well, despite the defeat. He said he wanted him gone before the World Cup, and he's still got the same opinion. And he's now saying, Brady and Moyes out.
Brady and Moyes out.
How many well, we've just sort of covered that. How many games do we think he's got? I'm going to ask John. John, what do you think about Moyes?
I'm fully hatting now. Moyes out.
Oh, are you?
Oh,
Right, we'll
yeah.
move on then.
Yeah.
I'm having watched the World Cup as well. I'm so tired of these people keep getting same old chances and doing the same things and expecting different results.
There's a lot of negative football about, isn't there?
I just
It's
say
not just West Ham.
it's just the acceptance of
Yeah.
mediocrity
Yeah, that's
without
it. It is
the
the
push through.
acceptance of it all, yeah.
and I just like you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. So
And
you
you're,
have to
by
change
this,
things
you're
up.
saying when we get back, you don't expect to see any change.
I don't
don't.
expect.
I
I,
don't
I,
either.
I suspect it. I suspect like someone like Paquetá and Rice, they're going to be they've got to be lifted now. They're coming back, having expected to do well. Paquetá especially, I would have thought they were going to win it. These players have got to be lifted and motivated, and it could have a negative effect on them coming back, and they've got to be managed well. And
True that.
I decided.
True story, bro.
I decided after the England defeat, where everyone's going to back Southgate and keep him there because he's achieved. You can't keep backing average mediocrity if you want to achieve anything.
So do you think quarter-final, semi-final and a final is average mediocrity?
Yeah, if you look at the, I particularly wanted him to go after the Italy game, the final. Having watched his lack of ability to affect that game, and like Mancini just outmanaged him that game. They didn't have better players. They didn't have a better team. But Mancini
No,
out.
penalties.
See, you're talking
Mancini
rubbish.
outmanaged him.
I've got a message back.
Sorry,
You
who's
talk shit.
talking rubbish, Sean?
Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
no change.
All right. What did I say then?
You suggested that something.
What did I say, Sean?
You suggested
No.
that you
I
knew
didn't
something.
suggest anything. You suggested I do something.
Well, you don't. So there you go.
No, I could have told you that.
Oh, great. So I've just wasted a question.
That's your question of the week, Sean.
That's it.
You're not
that's
getting
it.
another
Well,
one.
there you are. So I'll give you an update on Ben Johnson. We'll review it at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I didn't know anything.
So what does
You
that leave
because-
him down to? His last year when it gets to the
Yeah.
end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone could come in and pre-contract him if they wanted to.
Basically, there is no negotiations going on.
Well, yeah. Well,
read into that what you.
yeah,
read.
I'm sure. Look, I know who the agent is, and I know what problems there's been there in the past.
Yeah.
Who is the agent?
It's is it? Oh,
Salty.
it's not so. Is it Salty?
Silky.
It's not Silky.
Silky or salty?
It's
Salty
not
or
Salty or
silky?
Silky.
Is it Willie?
Oh, it's that CAA base. Who's the guy that runs that CAA base?
Oh yeah, Charlie.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Dave, isn't it?
I'm sure you can Google it, Sean. Go on,
No,
Google
I
it.
do know who it was.
Well, you don't, do you?
Yeah, I do. I've run it
That's
before. I
why
just
I
don't know.
asked.
I don't remember on the memory.
That's why I asked, because it's just
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be reminded of it. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
okay.
The only time I really heard on, I think, Moyes, perhaps we should, is when a story came out that Bournemouth were talking to Bielsa. Because I would love Bielsa at West Ham. And I know we
Me
probably
too.
won't win anything, but Jesus Christ, it will be fun. Because I
Yeah, it's
do
just-
understand the people that are fed up. Me, I'll back Moyes until he's sacked and then he's gone. But sometimes, when you can see a better manager on the horizon, and I think Bielsa is, then I think, well, actually, and at the end of the day, Premier League managers, they do generally shelf life is 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And this is probably it, for Moyes. And I'm not saying that purely because I think his league record is up there with the best that we've had in the Premier League, including this season. But what that does is shows you how poor generally West Ham are. But we're not a big team, so it's horses for courses for me. I don't see not winning a tournament as failure. I don't see not finishing in the top 6 failure. I don't see that as failure.
Do you not to talk about the tournament? Did you not watch that England in the final against Italy and think, how did we lose that?
No. No.
You didn't think that not making a substitute in 90 minutes was a touch.
No. No, I don't.
No.
No. I get what you're saying, but it could have gone the other way. He could have made a tactical, and this is the only thing is it depends what you want. I'd rather lose being bold. I prefer to lose 2-1 than to go out on penalties.
Well, we scored. What did we score? We scored in the first sort of 10 minutes or so,
Yeah.
and then we didn't have another shot on target for the rest of the 90
Yeah.
minutes.
Not good, but it's Italians. They can stifle you. I was more disappointed with the Croatia defeat in the semi-final than I was.
Well, he
with
should have squared it, shouldn't he?
Yeah. I don't know if we'd have beat the French if Harry had scored that scored that second penalty. I don't know if we would have done. Even on penalties, there's a bit of me that thinks there's a mental block with English players,
Yeah.
as there is with Dutch players. Because if you think we're bad at penalties in the World Cup, the Dutch are even worse.
But I just look at what he's achieved, Southgate, which is a hell of a lot. He's changed the whole ethos of the England team back from no one caring, and what he's done.
Well, he got the job by default, wasn't he?
He did.
Got the job for 3 months.
That was a funny day.
And to be fair, I don't know what if you'd have gone to me before Sam and said Gareth Southgate, England manager, I'd have ummed and ahed. I'd have accepted it in a way because I think he was England under-21 manager at the time and hadn't done that bad. But if you'd have said to me, from that, for me, in a way, the Sam Allardyce situation is probably the best thing that ever happened to England. Because I hate to think what would have become of England.
I don't know. He
Under
might have done a
Allardyce.
Greece with Allardyce.
Oh, mate, come on. What,
He might have done a Greece, balls to death, and nicked it 1-0.
No, mate.
He would have brought Peter Crouch out of retirement, stuck him up front.
No.
But I just don't. Everybody I spoke to after the Italy game, lots of people agreed and lots of people disagreed, and everyone sort of said, you know, he's earned the right to go again, and he would have learnt from that defeat against Italy, and I didn't see that. I didn't see that in this tournament. I didn't see how he learnt. He didn't seem to have learnt anything how to affect a game when we are struggling. So I just think 3 times that's enough now. And let's give Stumblick, thank you very much. You've done a great job. You've achieved a lot. Let's give someone else a go.
It does make me wonder is, did we get to the final because we were playing in England in the Euros?
Well, that was the other thing. It was a home tournament, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, there's, you know, on home tournaments, we've had 2 finals and a semi-final. Take that out, and the rest of everywhere else, we don't travel well, do we? We're like that kid that's always sick in the back of the car and needs them sweets with like powder on.
Yeah, the whole travels.
Oh yeah, travel sweets. Love them. Oh, I must get some of them for my next trip.
That's the kid, yeah. So we've been waffling while you've been Googling, Sean. Did you find out who you was talking about, the agent?
No. I've been talking to other people because there's a bit more to that Ben Johnson thing that meets the eye. And then when you start asking, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm going to save it though.
All right, my answer.
So you did know something, didn't you?
How's you doing? Well, it's good to have you boys back. He says, where have you been? What have you been doing? Clearly not podcast, he says, because even Nigel's been very absent across the circuit. Busy man. Being smashed up by Romanian lorry drivers on the M25 and the ilk. Are you like the other sites David Moyes out? Well, you just heard us discuss it. But what would it take for you to be David Moyes out? Well, we know John's, we know mine. I'll wait till he's sacked. I'll never call for his name. Len, are you there or thereabouts?
What with David Moyes? Anytime, it can go anytime for me.
You're not bothered?
Nah. Although there's a lot I like about him, but like you say, I think every manager's got a shelf life, and we've seen the Moyes plan, and I think eventually we're all going to want something different.
Yeah. And well, I know what Sean's is anyway.
What's that? Maybe you don't.
All right. Where are you on the Moyes bandwagon? What bandwagon?
I think we should give him a new contract, long-term contract. Believe in him.
All right, okay. There you go. Fucking hell, I don't think I'd go that far.
I like to be controversial.
Yeah, okay. He's got a question. He says, do you like how much time's been added on to the World Cup? He says, it will stop time wasting. It's a good addition unless it's a Tuesday night in Stoke.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, this is it. As I was about to say that. I wonder if that's going to be introduced, because usually things that happen at World Cups, you do see them coming into the Premier League. But are they going to do that? People are going to leave Olympic Stadium with 20 minutes to go.
Well, I think it was the England-Iran game. Because there was that head injury, wasn't there, for the goalkeeper. It was a 2-hour game of football. There was, I think, 15 minutes added on at the end of the first half. And then it was like 10 minutes. So that's another 25 minutes of football. It seems a bit extreme. But I suppose if you're losing and you see the old 10 minutes go up, you know, a bit like the Dutch, it gives you a bit of that impetus, innit?
Yeah. Or you're going to be fucking shitting yourself. Yeah. Excuse me language.
Yeah. I think it's fine if you're watching on the TV like we've done on the World Cup, but if you're there and waiting for your train home, it's probably not so great.
Okay. The Irish boxer, Stevie Collins, he was a warrior. Do you see us beating Arsenal on Boxing Day? Or is that
absolutely not?
to ask.
What time's kick-off?
8 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's
I'm
all
not
right.
going, Sean.
No,
Not
I'm
fucking
flying,
8
but I
o'clock at night.
land in Philadelphia, and I'll be in the airport, so I'll be able to watch the game in Philadelphia.
Oh, right.
So that's good.
Well, the question was not where you're watching it, Sean, because we don't give a toss.
No, you don't.
Is do you see us beating Arsenal on Boxing Day?
No.
No. Do you know what, Steve, if you're listening? If Arsenal was shit, I wouldn't see us beating.
We'll never see us beating Arsenal.
Let alone top of the table.
They're unbeaten, aren't they?
No, they
Or-
have been beaten. Didn't Spurs
they?
beat them? And that's the only defeat they've had. But they're still 4 or 5 points clear at the top, I believe. Or they're a couple of points clear with a game in hand. So,
What went on with that Ben? What went on with that Ben White?
Yeah, that's a strange one.
Some death in the family, apparently.
Was it?
Oh, right.
That's what I was
Not a
told.
fallout
Nope.
with the coach then.
No, death in the family, I was told.
Oh, right.
And obviously we know about Sterling. His gaff got broken into in Oxshott, which is just down the road, John. It is just down the road, mate. It's a big road. It's the A244 that goes from Leatherhead to Oxshott.
You make it sound like I live in Oxshott,
No, it
just
didn't.
down the
I
road.
didn't say.
I
said
live in
it's just down the
Oxshott.
road.
You
It's
just
4
try
minutes. 4 minutes from my flat to it. I'm
You're
not
just
saying.
like trying to big yourself up.
I
I
wasn't.
live in Oxshott.
It's down the road. It literally to get. I drive through Oxshott all the time.
Yeah. What? So are you in the frame then, Sean?
I'm not, and it wasn't armed intruders. They broke in. Like his missus and his family are out there in Qatar, and they broke in. And
Well, the story was that they were indoors.
Yeah, well, that's not true. The local Mole Valley police, where I live, actually said a statement. We don't know when they broke in. We don't know if they had guns or arms because literally no one's at home. And someone, a housekeeper or anything, noticed there'd been a break-in, and they came out back to look at it. That's it, and then flew back again.
All right.
That's the problem, and that's the problem. Talking of that, Declan Rice. So the Declan Rice story. You'll notice I didn't run the story.
All right, Merriam Williams.
All right, you
Evening
don't
and
want to listen to
season
it.
greetings, he says. Boyos.
I want to hear it.
With the postal strikes really biting in, does the club have any contingency plans should ticket holders not get their away tickets in time? And with Doddsy now supplying the Stooge with most of his stories, does this mean the Stooge's special relationship with Sullivan and Brady's over? No, it don't.
No.
Mariam.
Who's eating sweets?
That's me. I haven't hit one yet, you cheeky bastard. I've just literally torn the foil.
Yeah, we heard it.
Was that a Quality Street?
No, it's a bar.
Humbug?
It's a bar. Yeah, it's just a bar with Lindor. My mum gave it to me. She keeps giving me sweets. It's part of a kind of dementia thing. Yeah, she's been some fucking 7 years old.
So to answer the away
I
ticket,
got the fucking art to tell her.
you can always talk to the ticket office and get them to reprint one. I mean, for away games, I've often gone to. You'll probably remember this. I've gone to Southampton and got one printed off there. You can often blag it even if you know enough information. They don't ask anything. They just print another one off.
Peter John Edgecombe says, "Evening, guys," and he's going to start. Brady out.
Brady out.
It's been a few weeks, so could we have a barometer update, please? No. But I will do my best for next show, Pete, just for you. Barometer update. Read the pet's naming from the pod a few weeks ago. My daughter has Bubbles the cat that has cost thousands on the treatment table to stop her fading and dying with vet's bills. Bubbles definitely lives a premiership lifestyle and also underperforms regularly and won't even sit on his lap or show me affection at all. He says, anyway, it's not a pet podcast, is it? Keep up the fantastic work. The Edge. There you go. The Edge. Where's the Edge from, Sean?
A wrestler, I would imagine.
There you go, people. There you go.
Say no more.
What is the edge? I don't know.
That's even better because
What? I don't watch TV or like the stuff you watch. I don't
Oh.
know. Why would I know what the edge is?
I don't know. Do you like music, Sean?
Oh,
did you not
music. Yeah,
used to
yeah,
be a DJ,
yeah.
Sean?
Now I've got who the edge is. I didn't know in
Do
that
you?
context.
Who's the Edge then?
He's a what do you call it? A guitarist for what's the band called?
Google's fantastic.
No, you know the Irish people.
You two know.
That's it. You two. That's it. You two. You two. That's it.
Where
I
are
know
you two
Irish
from, Sean?
band. Oh, you two. Yeah, of
Irish
course
band,
he is.
Yeah. Where's the Edge from, Sean?
Highlands, Dublin, I would
He
imagine.
was born in Barking.
Was
actually.
he?
Yeah, and his parents were Welsh.
No.
Yes, yes.
I didn't know
you
that.
go.
There you go.
Up the
I
hospital.
didn't know he was born
There
in
you go.
Barking. I always thought he'd been born in Dublin or something.
No.
There you go. I do know who he is now.
Oh, that's good. Jim Salverson says, can you see a route where selling of rice next summer makes us stronger? He says, right price, right recruitment. Or is he so important, we're fucked? That's a good
Hang on a
question,
minute.
actually.
It is a good
He was.
question.
I'm just looked at Wikipedia. He was raised in Ireland. He was moved.
Yeah,
as a-
he's definitely Irish, but you know, it's a bit like
He-
Windsor
he-
Davies was born in Canning Town. He's definitely Welsh.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, his parents were Welsh. Yeah.
Going back to his the Declan Rice question, I do recall, and I do get reminded with trying to think of the chap's name. It does the John Lyle years on YouTube.
Yeah.
Irrational
I
Hatred.
know
Of,
your name.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I
I'm
don't. Yeah,
really
I
sorry.
can tell you his name.
Anyway, he reminds
Mine with
me
Knob.
of Rob Banks.
That's it.
Good old
yeah.
Rob, good customer of mine, and a great YouTube channel. Well, I watch these and I get reminded of how lengthy spells Trevor Brooking had out.
Yeah.
Yet we got real good results in his absence. The game moved a little bit quicker because he was a bit slow as Trev, but you know, we loved him and he was, you know, he is God and most skillful player I've ever seen. But we never really, with these long spells of injury, we didn't really suffer. I'm hoping it might be the same with Rice. No footballing knowledge that sort of can justify that at all, but it
Well,
just
the big time that he was out for me, I think it was 82. He was out for a while.
is that one we won 6 on the trot, 5 or 6 on the
We
trot.
did, yeah, we.
I remember that.
I remember there was a big thing about him coming back and actually bunked off school to go to a reserve game, and they didn't play him. I don't know if it's quite funny or not, but anyway. But yeah, that was. I mean, that season, 81, 82, our first season back. You know, I think we finished like 7th or 8th, which was a
Yeah.
fantastic achievement. And that would, I think, 3/4 of the season was no Trevor. And you think the World Cup in '82, and that's why I remember it, because the World Cup in '82, he went into the World Cup injured,
That's right. And Keegan.
and Keegan, and he just got the last 20 minutes against Spain, didn't he?
Mm.
So
Yeah, soft ankles he had, didn't he,
Yeah.
Trev? We loved
Yeah.
him though.
deep pockets. Short arms. Can you see a route, though, where selling rice, says Jim? Because it is a good question, I will ask it again. Will selling rice make us stronger?
No.
I can't see. I mean, we look at we've spent 180 million. We don't look stronger.
No. No.
Let's not depress ourselves.
No. I used to think, actually, it's one of them things where if you can get good money for him, like, and then go out and buy 2 or 3 decent players to make the squad better. But
Yeah, I don't think he does
I don't
squads.
think it. I don't think it. No, I don't think it.
We're getting depressed. Quick, move on.
It's a weird thing. I think if we stay up this season,
Fucking hell, it's not getting any brighter, is it? You
no.
saying that?
Well, what I'm saying is that this will make that we then enter an era which becomes West Ham's second longest ever run of top flight seasons.
I'm on my arse now.
Yeah. So it is mad when you think about it, that when people think of what West Ham should be and where we should be and what type of club we should be, that only once before have we ever spent longer than 11 seasons in the top flight without being relegated. We've normally been relegated at least once before that. So the longest run of top flight season was 58 to 78.
Mm.
And then, so, I don't know, small steps I suppose, is it? You could look at it, one step back, could be 2 steps forwards. Nobody ever knows, do they?
No.
To answer it, I think we're fucked, Jim.
We fucked
Anyway,
either
moving
way.
on.
We can't win. We never
Yeah.
can.
Next up, Paul Teton says, which is a good question, is there any player at the World Cup that's caught our eye?
No. Other than Declan Rice.
Jude Bellingham.
No,
Yeah.
like if you
Oh,
looked at a player and thought, do you know what, I'd have him at West Ham.
There was a Japanese one I'd like to look off, but
None other than the obvious, you know,
ones
the,
that are
the
out
big
our league.
names. Yeah, the people you can
We're
afford.
like ugly blokes at a fucking disco, aren't we, being West Ham fans?
Yeah, but you say that we got Winston Reid off the back of a World Cup.
We
He
did.
did.
And I mean, I can still remember laughing when they announced it and said West Ham signed World Cup star.
That sounds like one of Sean's.
Yeah, this is big. Yeah, and when they said Winston Reid, it was like, who? And his big claim to fame was he scored New Zealand.
First ever New Zealand goal.
Yeah, you know, it was like, and
That's
then
a star.
we put him at right back and he was shit. And I actually think the relegation probably saved his
Helped
career
him,
with
yeah.
West Ham.
There was a lot of players that relegation helped them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
So-
the El Zaniri or whatever, the striker?
What,
He's,
him?
for
El
Morocco.
Naziri.
El Naziri.
Yeah, Moroccan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have him.
Oh, that's good. There's a vote of confidence for him.
There you go.
Matty Kent brings up the right back situation. Kufal's lost form.
Yep.
Kufal put a video up, ice skating, with his little girl.
Mhm.
You think, and I'm thinking, well, hold up, son.
Fucking ice skating.
What you doing?
Didn't,
Ice
what's his
skating.
name? Just break his leg.
Yeah.
The German goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Skiing.
Yeah, he's out for the season. So you think, behave yourself. You can't go ice skating.
Oh, that's a story, isn't it?
Oh. What's the story?
Sufal.
What goes ice skating?
Yeah.
Cool, you are desperate.
No, it's been a day of no stories today. You really have, Jerome.
You could
Sometimes,
link
Sean,
it to the
Yeah.
Neuer.
If
Yeah,
Break
I
of the
will.
leg.
No, exactly. I was thinking that exactly.
leave nothing.
No, well done. Thanks for that story.
Oh.
I'll put a credit on.
Yeah, Kufal, he says, and he said with Ashby off, what's going on? Well, we don't know that. To be honest, we
He is
don't
off.
know what's.
He is off. Looks like Ben Johnson's off as well now.
What, since you answered him last... What, you got another text? Or
Well, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I've been
Fuck
digging though.
Right. Chris Kinch says evening all.
evening, Chris.
Father Chris.
Father
Any
Chris.
news on when the postponed home game against Newcastle's been moved to?
That's a bloody good question. That's a great little story as well.
You going to tell us, or...?
No, I don't know, but I will ask that question.
I'll save that one till last for a special reason. Martin Rose says evening all. Is Kera good enough to play at right back?
No,
I
I thought he was shit for Germany.
All right. Well, Martin don't think he's good enough at centre back. This is
I
who
think
would
he's
you
a better
play?
right back than he is centre back.
Yeah, true.
Personally, I would persevere
Wing back.
with Ben Johnson at right back.
Until he leaves.
Well, no, but I think his leaving could be down to the fact that he's in and he's out, he's in and he's out, and he feels like he should be in more than he's out.
In, out, shake it all about. You do the okey-dokey and you turn around.
Grant Coxford just wanted to say that the old carrot cruncher, he's glad we're back and he's missed us. Oh, isn't that nice? Old Bubble and Squeak himself, Stelios Kyriakou. A lot of people go on about how long it'll be before Moyes gets the sack. And this is, if we have a solid restart to the season, at what point will the Moyes out noise die down?
Noise. He's a sanctimonious prick at times, isn't he? Fucking YouTubers. Honestly, fucking don't leave off.
Oh, if it ain't one, it's the other. Anyway, you know, there will always be those that don't like Moyes and his pragmatism. The thing about pragmatic football is it only really works when it's winning. Exciting football works when you're losing because you can view a game and you think, Joe, what, I was happy what I see there, we were unlucky. So if we've lost like 3-2 or, you know, at a game where we've attacked and their keeper's pulled off blind and save and they nick one, you can walk out and go, oh, well, our luck was out. But when it's pragmatic and it's dull, it's boring, yeah, I'm not saying that that's what Moyes football is, but that's what people perceive.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
We all watch the likes of Brighton and whatever attack teams.
Yeah.
And go out and
we're
attack.
having more shots. We're having more shots in a game. So we must be creating. And this is where I do argue with people. We must be creating because of the amount of shots we're having. The shots are crap. Yeah.
And desperate.
Yeah.
I think the tally goes up when we get so far behind in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That shot tally of desperate shots that you shouldn't have the shot in the fucking first place.
Perhaps it's better to
Then
look at how many shots we have in the first half to how many shots we have in the second.
Yeah.
Well, we've not had a good start to any game, have we? Really? We've been really poor in the first half all season so far, haven't we?
Didn't we have a game where we went 1-0 up and we thought, well, this is all right, but then we lost it 2-1? Wasn't it the Palace game?
Yeah, the solid restart could still involve dull football, and at that point you think to yourself, well, is this ever going to change? If you don't see any new ideas from Moyes, that's what worries me with him. And the stuff's come up about the Wayne Rooney said some disparaging fucking remarks.
Wow, that was...
what was that?
It's very fucking disparaging.
Yeah, well,
What
Rooney
was that?
basically near enough accused Moyes of almost holding him back. And
Yeah.
Moyes was telling him things, and he went up. Rooney at 17 thought, no, I ain't doing that. Went on the pitch and did the opposite.
And it worked. He was right. You know.
Talking of that, Mick Doherty, who helped find Wayne Rooney, is at the club now. Joined the club as a scout.
Well, when you
He
say
couldn't have
help
too much fucking
Moyes,
finding. He was a fucking
on
Everton
the
fan.
doorstep. Yeah.
Why is Mick Doherty credited with Wayne Rooney then?
Because
There must be a
people
reason.
like to fucking grab, credit for everything these days.
Okay. Right. You may know
Really?
more about Everton than I do.
Well, no, but what you got here, what you got to know about Wayne Rooney is like a 9-year-old kid, when he's banging 50, 60 goals in.
He looked about 20.
Whoever, well, I don't think he did at that age, he looked about 7, but whoever was the scout at Everton would have discovered him because he was playing on their bloody doorstep. And
Yeah,
he
I
was head and
forget.
shoulders
He is
above everyone
credited.
else.
Wayne is Mick Doherty or Mike Doherty is credited.
Isn't it funny that all this stuff with England lately, the amount of talk about Bellingham and how he came through and then he ended up going to Germany.
Yeah.
Why no one here? Sort of no one like United or City or anything went for him.
Well, the mad thing is Birmingham retired his shirt when he left.
And everyone laughed. Well,
Yeah.
as Nigel
Yeah,
Farage says, you're not laughing anymore.
No, what you say? He only played for a year, You don't retire someone's shirt if they only play
No.
for a year. I know he'll probably be the best ever player to pull.
What
on the
about Trevor
Birmingham.
Francis?
Well, no, but
He was
that's
pretty
the thing.
decent.
He
First £1 million player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What about Frank Worthington?
Was he good at Birmingham? He's A-Day
Nah, I
with
don't
Bolton
think
and
so.
Leicester, wasn't it? I think.
Mark Dennis. No, I'm saying the piss now.
Evening gents is Dingerling. This is sorry.
Good evening.
Brady out.
Brady out. That's my kind of question.
Thoughts on Declan Rice saga in regards to the comments. What do we think of the comments he made?
He was set up, and there was nothing
Oh,
different.
shut up,
He was
Guthrie,
set up.
again.
He was set up. And
You can bat it away, Sean.
It's something he said for the last 2 years. It's no different. It's a mountain or a molehill. Of course, wants to play in the. He was set up, and there's an unwritten rule: you don't set up, and someone broke that rule. It was underhand.
It did sound like a question. That didn't sound like a. It sounded a bit ad hoc. By the sound of it, it was rushed.
It was a question that had nothing to do with the game coming up or with the tournament.
It wasn't from the floor either. It was like someone with a mic, holding the mic for him, and that mic continued to say, "Okay, the next questions are off the live feed." It was.
Well, I don't think it was a setup. To be honest, I think he could have answered it in a better way.
Yeah, he could have batted it away easy.
At the end of the day, it's not the first time he said it. He knows what he's saying, and we all know the meaning of it.
Does it matter though?
When you're the club captain, I think it does.
What would you have said in that position?
I'm playing for England.
Do
I want to talk about that?
I'm not here to talk about Champions League. I'm here to talk about
this is the World Cup. Yeah. Oh, it's a
right.
fucking easy one, to be fair. It's really
I'm more
easy.
bothered about winning the Europa Conference with West Ham than I am about playing in the Champions League at the moment.
His mates,
That's all right. It's not a bad answer.
His mates would just laugh at that.
Well, there you go, then, isn't it?
Did you see the TikTok video of, I don't know which England player, when they were, well, it was on other things, where they asked each of the England players to spell something.
They couldn't spell. Thick shit.
No, including Rice.
Yeah. Then again, they've probably read it on Claret and you, Sean. So,
what I was going to say about Declan Rice is there was a story about acorns, and that he there was a planning permission. He lives in Kingswood, close to Reigate, and in quite a big place, and a few people know about it. But the Daily Mail ran a story to say that there was planning permission. So of course, as soon as they write that, you just go onto Reigate and you search that, and you can see Sean Rice's name, and you can see where he lives, and then you can find out the estate agents of when the house was sold. So there's no privacy now for a football player, and this is how they found Sterling's house, I'm sure. Well, did I run the story of pictures of his house? Did I?
No,
it's a nice house, though.
Did you Acorn story, didn't you?
I did the Acorn story. It was slow news day.
Anyway,
Mr.
Tom
Green.
Devlin.
Yeah.
He's the Devlin in disguise. Evening, guys. And Merry Christmas to you all. Well, that was jolly, Tom, wasn't it? Thanks. What was your... Oh, he says, what was your take on the interview with Declan Rice? Well, you just heard what you said, because Dinger brought it up. He was disappointed, like Stuart was, to hear him talk like that. Being the club captain at the time we're going through a tough period in the league, and it don't set a great example.
Nah, not good.
He says he does go on. He says there's no doubting what the club means to him. So wouldn't it have been better to say it's not something he wants to discuss now? So he's concentrating on the World Cup, or he could have said what I said, you know. So, but that's what Stuart Ling said as well as club captain. Comments irritate. Anyway. He'd hate to tarnish the fantastic bond.
Anyway, we're getting to our mark. How are we getting on?
Andy Farrell says, evening, gentlemen. Anyone has asked again, anyone spot a player in the World Cup that would be achievable and a valuable addition to our squad? Do you know what? I did like, I don't know, who was the... he might be out of our mind. Is it the German attacker, Musiala, is it? The one that was English but then decided to play for Germany. He was decent.
No, I don't know him.
Isn't he like a proper German club though? You know what I mean? Like Bayern or Dortmund or somewhere.
Oh, right. No, but you never know. I don't know.
He chose to play for. He played for England at all the underage levels.
Yeah, that's it. And then went back to Germany and played for the first team.
Yeah.
The last question for the night.
Cool.
We are going is Paul Nolan. Chauffeur here, he says. Quick question for Sean. Why didn't you wear a West Ham Christmas jumper?
Do you know what?
As per your LinkedIn post.
You'll never guess this, but I got 2 messages from West Ham directors saying exactly the same thing.
All right. Where's your West Ham Christmas?
Yeah, where's your West Ham Christmas jumper?
All right, people. Well, I don't know because obviously it's an office thing, and now I do work partly in an office. What are your thoughts on Christmas jumpers? You got any
Fucking
thoughts on
awful.
Christmas? Yeah.
I have 4 of them, and we have a Christmas jumper day for charity every single year. That was my picture on LinkedIn and Facebook, where we all get in a Christmas jumper. We donate £5 to charity, and we have our picture taken. And I'm feeling I should have got a West Ham Christmas jumper for next year, so I will do that. And in fact, I did go back to a certain person and said, "Okay, you send me one. I'll wear
Who
it."
were these directors?
I'm not at liberty to say. I don't reveal my
You are at
sources.
liberty to say. You can complete liberty.
No, I'm not.
You
I'll
are,
say
but you
one
just
of them
don't want to
is.
tell us.
All right. Well, one of them was Tara Warren.
Right? Who's the other one?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
woman.
Not saying. Not
Yeah,
saying.
sir.
Anyway.
Only a woman would say shit like that. No offence, women.
Well done.
But,
Thank
but a
you,
bloke
and
won't give a
good
fucking
night.
shit
I've
about
never-
your jumper.
Never been involved with Christmas jumpers in my life.
Yeah.
but
Well, obviously, being a new company or I've never really done Christmas at a company because obviously the company was me. But this year they had Christmas jumper day. Was it Thursday? Was that it? Christmas jumper day. Everybody's supposed to wear a Christmas jumper. Not me. I think I said in my.
Well, if you had a West Ham one, maybe.
no, Sean, I would not wear a Christmas jumper.
Well, even if it had the old crest on.
Sean, I would not wear a Christmas jumper. I know West Ham do Christmas jumpers. I would not wear one. I do.
Well, yeah, the rest of your wardrobe comes from West Ham, so
I'm
I'm
not a
surprised
fan
at
of
that.
Christmas.
Anyway, predictions.
Hold up.
Go on, you just said that was the last one. Go on.
Yeah. And the reason I kept it last is we're looking forward to the Premier League return. Of course we are. And finally, we're looking forward to Len's new film because I am, and so is Paul.
Who said that? Paul Turton.
Paul Nolan.
Paul Nolan. Oh,
Yeah.
good for you, Paul. Thank you.
So, Len, over
Yeah.
to you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, no. This is another hour.
Yeah. Well, it's the second part is on canningtownlin.com /films. Hopefully it will be on. I say hopefully, it was a dead cert that it was on
Amazon.
Prime Video. Yeah,
Go on, spill the beans.
but my contract ran out.
Yeah, no. You're not going to
Oh,
tell
I'm
people how
pointing
sausages
fingers.
are made. Oh, go on.
I'm not pointing fingers.
Oh,
well,
go on.
There was initially there was problems with Terry Erlock.
Yeah.
that we had to cut him
And?
out on it, and that was an extra year.
And?
And then yeah, well,
Come
then
on.
then there was. I'm not pointing fucking fingers
Oh,
at people.
come on.
Sean, shut up.
He wants
then,
to say it. He's so angry. He wants to say it.
Well, I'm fucking angry, alright, but I'm not going to say it.
Ah. No
Yeah.
loyalty from that person, I can tell you now.
Nah, it's someone trying to sell the film behind me back. No, Nigel don't know this. It's his cousin in
Oh.
the fucking
Dude.
film. And yeah,
Yeah. I
And,
know
I
who
found
it was
that
and
it-
what they did.
yeah, and
I think you're very generous not to out them, but there you go.
I am very generous.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
So
I've been
Touch
waiting
wood.
for it to come on Amazon.
yeah,
Are
because you
you
want to see it on
telling
on the big screen.
Yeah.
Everyone does, don't they? Really. So it might be that you have to rent it on Amazon because I don't have a free on Prime contract like I used to.
Oh,
So if you want to watch it for nothing, which sounds like Nigel's tariff, you have to go to canningtownland.com films. If you want to watch it on your big screen,
It's going to be 55
don't know that yet.
pounds.
I'm hoping
£55.
pounds. No,
for-
don't be daft. I don't know that for certain yet. I'm hoping my previous record will get taken into account.
So, Meghan and Harry, I'm sure you're watching it, got $100 million.
I'm sure you're watching it.
I haven't watched it actually. 100 million euros,
bet Shireen has,
dollars. No, she hasn't actually. $100 million for that.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a fee similar from Netflix or Amazon?
Nah.
How can they
Bugger
pay
all.
that much for such?
I don't know that.
I don't know
thinking-
anyone who's watched it, by the way. I'm yet to meet someone and go, oh yeah, I'm watching it, I'm really enjoying
So
it.
you know why?
I
Sean?
don't know that.
Because the Americans will lap it up.
Will they?
Yeah.
My missus got no interest in it whatsoever. Doesn't like Meghan. I don't know a lot of a number of Americans don't like Meghan either.
My God, we invite an actress into the royal family and she behaves like an actress, and people are surprised.
Yeah, well, they are from the
Come
deep
on.
south. Let's just say that.
So, oh right. Fucking hell. Dear,
Which
dear.
is where I'm going over
Firing
Christmas.
up the General Lee.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
something like that. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll give you final. Should give you final news on the film next week.
Cool.
If we do one.
can we do predictions? We won't, just in case we
Playing
don't
Fulham
record.
Saturday.
Well, if you want to do Fulham and Arsenal, because I doubt if it took us 4 weeks to record, will we record again before Boxing Day? Fulham then Arsenal, Nigel.
Yeah, I think we might do a show next week.
All right.
Fulham, I don't give a toss. Frankly.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing it up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
I'd lose 4-0.
John. Fulham then Arsenal.
Always out.
Fulham, Fulham, I ain't got a clue. I don't even know what it is.
It's a friendly
Is it? Yeah, where is it?
at Fulham.
It's away, Craven
That's it.
Cottage.
Yeah.
I know that'd be 2-2.
Yeah.
Arsenal, we will get beat 3-0.
Oof. Len.
Fulham 1-0 West Ham just to piss you off.
Yeah.
And the Arsenal game 3-1.
I'm gonna go 5-3 at Fulham. Goals are fun.
Alright.
And Arsenal, I think Moyes is gonna surprise everyone.
Is he coming? Will he be there, Moyes?
Moyes is gonna surprise everyone and win 1-0 in the Emirates and
Yeah.
show you fuckers up. And then he's gonna sign a new contract. I've been Sean. Nigel has been.
Cold.
John has been.
Here.
And Len has been.
Back. Yeah. Back.
I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win, and I'm coming here to West Ham.
Come on, you Irons.
Bobby Moore.
Bye.
More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.
I think I've probably got the biggest win rate out of a certain amount of managers as well. So I think if you're putting it that way, that's what I do. I win,